not mocking you. It's Mocking With You, the podcast that settles the debates once and for all with your host, Lil B, and the hater.
Every time. Hello and welcome to the podcast. We have a great episode for this week. We are bringing you our top 10 safeties for the 2025 NFL Draft. We do have Tyler. He's having some technical difficulties, so hopefully we can get him in and out to get this going. So we all are going to bring in our top 10. We've gone back and forth. I think we should start at one because I think we all agree who are a couple of the best, but we're going to start.
We know. I know you and I we talked already.
Yeah. I can still hear the intro in the background. I don't know if that's me. There. Now I don't hear it.
Okay, I heard it now.
Yeah, okay.
No, sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. So, yeah, we bring in our top 10 safeties. Next week's will be the corners. We're going to build up. Last thing we're going to do is rate the quarterbacks. So the top have all declared besides like one or two maybe guys, but it sounds like they're going to go back. The final cut deadline to declare is the 15th. So this is the only week we really won't know every true declare for the NFL Draft. So if we left somebody off, it's because they have not declared or we just didn't watch because we were fluxed. So let that know that if there's a player you think that should be higher is not on this board is because at this time of the recording, they have not declared for the NFL Draft. They still have, as of right now. And Tyler's on. We can see his pretty face. I don't know if he can see us. That was his issue, is not being able to see us. He has some horrible static coming through.
Yeah, you're terrible right now, bruh.
Yeah, horrible. Please mute yourself or something. There it is. Okay.
I'm not immune.
Yeah. But so going on with that, I don't know who wants to go first. I'm first on the big
I was
board.
doing number one and down. Okay.
Number one and down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do that.
He's muted.
That fine.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay. His static is horrible right now when he comes across.
Nothing like that in the TV. There's some kind of static.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, mate, you might need to be kicked out and come back in and see if that.
You might be stuck in 1980.
Yeah, sounds like an old static TV.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I got to go to my big board. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go. It might be a little.
Yeah, go ahead.
One and we'll work ourselves down. We're going to start with number one. And if we have to play catch up with Tyler, we can do that with his technical difficulties. But with my number one safety, and this is including strong and free. So, again, this is team specific or whatever you want. This is not all top 10 strong safeties, top 10 safeties. These are both of them combined. I'm coming out hot with Nick Emaware from South Carolina.
This is why we could have went last.
No, not hot. He's considered like the second best safety. So for me to have him at one is not like overly crazy, but it's a little of a hot take. But Nick Emaware I'm trying. If I feel like that's semi-close.
I feel like you're close, but you're not.
Yeah, but he's a strong safety from South Carolina. He's only 21. He's only 20 years old. He's one of the younger top safeties in this class. He is 6'3" and 227, and he plays like it. In this 12 games this year, he had 83 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 4 interceptions, 6 pass deflections, and 2 touchdowns. In this 2023 or 2024.
I don't understand. I'm trying to look at a Twitter and see that we're live, but we're not live on a Twitter. I don't know what's going on.
But
we're live on YouTube.
Yeah, live on YouTube. We'll figure out X here shortly. But Nick was a team captain, which I love seeing him as a captain, as the safety. He has great hands, plays really well in coverage, big body, plays well in the box. He could cover wide receiver, running back, tight end. You could probably just type it in. I wonder if it'll automatically find him if you start typing in his.
I don't want to mess with you, man.
So how did she have it last name? E. I don't know. Yeah, there he is, right there.
I got him.
He has really good speed. He tackles with his head up and drives his feet, which you'd love to see. He doesn't like go willy-nilly with his head down, not looking, which I love. Great footwork, hybrid linebacker safety. He's going to play in the box. He's going to be a monster for you on the run defense.
Sorry, that's my vacuum.
I really like Nick. So Nick is my number one. Go ahead, Hater.
Yeah, mine is obvious here. Hold on one second. My vacuum's going in the closet.
Yeah, no kidding. We are having a horrible time.
Yeah, we're just having a horrible episode right now.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm starting it. It's a robot vacuum. It's fine.
So you're going with the obvious choice at number
I'm
one?
going with the obvious choice. And number one, Malachi Stokes. I call him Mr. Everything, Mr. Earl Thomas. I think he's the next Earl Thomas. He's going to be that guy who's going to...
You're giving him way much credit. A lot of credit for it. By the way, Tyler texted, say to let him in.
Okay, we're letting you in.
Still horrible static.
With your horrible static.
Can you hear me?
Malachi Stokes.
You're not as bad as you were earlier, but you still have some. Not nowhere near as bad as you were earlier.
But can you hear me? Can you see
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you, bro.
Yeah, I can hear you. So I went with Nick Moore from South Carolina as number one, and Hater just took Malachi Starks as his number one. So, Tyler, who's your number one safety in this class?
I agree with you.
Nick Moore?
Yes, I was not even going to try to say his name. But
Again, I don't think that's correct, but we feel like it's...
Hey, you're close. You're close. I'll have to talk to Bill about that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to have... But, yeah, I really liked him. He is the youngest safety in this class, which is also like a little bit of a positive.
Yeah, no. So that's what you're wanting, like he's already big as it is.
Yeah.
6'3", almost 6'4", right?
Yeah, he's 6'3", 227. This is obviously unofficial numbers because they're not at the combine or Senior Bowl or anything. Unofficial numbers per South Carolina, 6'3", 227.
So he's probably like 6'2", but
yeah.
But still, he's huge. He's massive.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
What was my? I'll get to my talk with him. I'm gonna hit the next. So
next pick for me is the other one is Malachi Starks coming in at number 2. He's 21 years old. He's a free safety. He's 6'1", 205. You could find his stats, but they weren't as in depth, so I didn't want to write them down and not give him the credit. He plays well in the box as a free safety. He's a very good tackler. He's a ball hawk. He's very much a ball hawk. He's quick. He shoots out of the cannon, and when he makes a decision, he's go. He has a very good he's good in coverage, but here's the problem for me. I don't like how he tackles. He tackles high, and he gets broken tackles because he goes up for the shoulder, and he tries to wrap, and he gets shaken off really quickly because he doesn't have the – I mean, he's a free safety. He shouldn't have to hopefully be tackling often, but you still want your guy to be able to tackle.
I want him in the center. I want him.
Yeah, he's definitely center of the field type of guy. Here's my problem. Why he's my number 2 is I think Nick does a lot of great things. He's elite at a couple things. Malachi, I don't feel Malachi's an elite at anything. He's great at everything, but he's not elite at anything. You can hate me, whatever you want to say about Starks. I think Starks is great. If Starks goes over Nick, I have no problem with that. Again, it's team need. If you need a free safety, you take Nick. If you need a strong safety, you take Nick. It's what your need is. I have no problem. These guys are 1A, 1B.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to put Nick in Malare. I think that's how you say it, but we'll find out. But we have the whole last season to figure out how to say his name.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I call him the next Pan Chancellor. This guy can hit. And not only can he hit, he can take the ball away, too. I think I saw that hit that he had.
He had 4 interceptions this year.
Yeah, he had that one play against
LSU.
Yeah.
But I think that one was the one that was turned back, remember, too. That was where his.
No. It wasn't called that. It was. The pick six was called that, but the interception was not.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he had the interception, but the pick six was called back because of the roughing whatever the quarterback after the play.
That was dumb.
Yeah, but they show you the whole highlight because he returned it for 100 yards. All right, there, Tyler. Who do you have as safety two?
Safety two for me is Malachi Starks. He's a great athlete, great ball skills. That's kind of how I got all this written down, just like a couple of bullet points just to hit on. I don't want to go too in depth, but those are a couple of his strengths. I would say that he can be a little over aggressive sometimes. Which is something that you might be a downside. But you can kind of say the same thing in a way about the first guy that me and you had. But yes, I guess that's like probably the biggest.
I would rather have him too aggressive than he's just standing there. Like I was watching tape on another guy, he's just standing there, and I'm like, are you gonna tackle this guy or what?
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about too, because there was one guy I was just getting pissed off on.
Stand around like.
Yeah.
You're the last line of defense. Like he's not gonna get past you and wrap him up.
No, Malachi's problem is he can over pursuit on the tackle, and he got lucky in college with some of his tackles, like over pursuing and being able to like flick him, and the guy goes down. I don't know how that's gonna sometimes that's not gonna translate to the NFL, and then also his tackling too high. He's gonna have to learn to wrap, and he doesn't wrap really well. All teachable things, so it's not a huge issue.
Not big.
All right, so.
All right, who do you want? Who's getting here?
I got to go to my. All right, so number 3 for me, he played last night. We're going to go with Xavier Watts, the free safety out of Notre Dame. He's 22 years old.
Now,
let's talk about a ball hawk right here really quickly. In 2023, he had 7 interceptions. In 2024, this last season, he had 6 interceptions and 9 pass deflections. This dude's another ball hawk. He's nothing but a playmaker because he also forced fumbles. He also makes huge plays behind the line of scrimmage. He's a great run stuffer. He plays center of the field. He's probably arguably better than Malachi at playing center field. When he has and also has probably the best hips. This dude's fluid. His hips and his movement is very just all natural, no hitch, no giddy up. He is a fluid moving back up in his pace. I
love my comp.
Yeah, if you overthrow the football, he's there and he's taking it. You just don't. If you're a quarterback, you don't overthrow the football with Xavier Watts in the back because he's taking it. He I think arguably has the best hands out of all safeties in this class. This dude could play wide receiver with how some of the catches he makes for interceptions.
Love my comp. I'm not that ridiculous. This is my number 3 guy too.
So,
Xavier Watts, man, I remember a couple weeks ago when I was trying to tell you about him, and you're like, who? And now you know who I'm talking about. Are you?
Yeah, no, I was listening. I didn't. Who's your comp though?
Okay, and speak about in the between. My comp to Xavier Watts is Derwin James.
A healthy Derwin James?
A healthy Derwin. He's like a cool. I wouldn't say he's Derwin James out of SSU, but I feel like he's like a cool man Derwin James. Where I think if Xavier Watts might go in the end of the round, I don't know where it's going to go, but
I think Starks and Nick are the only for sure first rounders. Watts could be.
But yeah, you're going to get the poor man. You're going to get the poor man Derwin James here.
Yeah, Watts could be a late first rounder, but I think most likely a second rounder.
But my one problem is he had a hard time last night against Tyler Warren, and he had a hard time in man others.
He's a free safety. He shouldn't have to be covering the tight end. That's not his job. That's the linebacker. That's the strong safety. Shouldn't be covering.
If you want him to do that, that's really not his game.
And let's be honest. Let's talk about last night's game about potentially quarterback one, Drew Aller. Good God, that guy is straight garbage water. But we'll wait for quarterbacks in the future. Tyler, who's your three safety?
Mine is also Xavier Watts as well.
I don't like that me and Tyler are on pace here.
I love how you guys are all just matching here. Cotton each other's notes again.
He's a physical player, good tackler. Like Chris was just saying, if you ever expect him to play in the man coverage, that will be an issue.
Yeah, he's a deep zone safety.
Because you know that sometimes teams want to get creative or think they can do things with certain players that they can't do. Like if you want to play man,
no one can do that.
not that he couldn't maybe eventually, but as of right now, he would need a lot of work if he ever was going to play in a man coverage.
Yeah, I think even if you're in a man cover system, he's just your center fielder. You sometimes have that free safety who just sits in the middle of the field in his zone coverage on man coverage. He's probably that guy. You probably don't. Not saying he couldn't do it, but you probably just want to leave him as is. All right, so we're going on to my safety 4. And my safety 4 also, if I recall correctly, I want to make sure I didn't move it around. Yeah, played last night. And that's Kevin Winston Jr., strong safety out of Penn State. He's 21 years old. He's 6'2", 205. He plays a lot as a box safety. He also really well in coverage. He could cover that tight end that's moving or that running back. Also great in run support. He's a very good cover. He can recover if he gets beat. He has good speed. He has a good recovery speed. My worry about him, though, and I wrote it, is how he covers in defense. He doesn't turn his head. A lot of the times if he's beat, he just puts his arms straight up and doesn't look behind him. And we know in the NFL that's always going to get called as an intercept or DPI. So they're going to have to teach him to start turning his body or his head, because he's going to get a lot of pass interference at the next level if he doesn't learn to change his head. But yeah, I really liked him. He's in the box safety though. In the box, he's your guy in the laying down the lumber on a run game.
Man, what are you getting on this?
I think this is the obvious 4. I think 5 through 10 is really where it's gonna. We might start seeing some.
I really wanted to change it up, but I don't know if you watched 2003 tape, but not 2003, 2023 tape. It was way better, but all this red.
Yeah, he's hiding all the way at the bottom. Yeah, you just need to see if you can search, type W and see if it'll take you to the W.
I found it. Sorry.
But yeah, I
too much red.
Red on red. All right, Tyler, who's your 4?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna get different right here.
Oh, we're changing up, huh?
We are, and my guy plays tonight, and that is Andrew Makuba.
Wow, you're
higher than me. And
listen. This guy can play. He can play man and zone both well. Great athlete. The one thing that the one downfall for me that I hate the most about him though is he is pretty well undersized for a safety in the NFL. I mean, he's like
I have him so low.
People make fun of Kyler Murray. He's Kyler Murray at the safety position.
It's like 6 foot, $190.
Yeah, he's not even 6 foot. He's 5'10", 180.
Well, I don't know. One of the places I went,
5'10"? That means he's like 5'9" for real.
Yeah, he's tiny.
Well, that's very true. I mean, because they always lie about their height and weight. But he does a lot of things well.
He does.
It's a little bit concerning. He kind of reminds me a little bit, not the same position, but close, as, who is the guy that everyone makes fun of because he's so small? Forbes? Remember Forbes at corner?
Yeah, I'm saying I learned my lesson because Emmanuel Forbes got cut by the Commanders because of his.
Yeah, does do a lot of things well. Now, if he can, now question is, will he be able to do that in the NFL against bigger guys when he's smaller? That's the question.
I mean, you can put on some muscle.
Yeah,
It,
if he hasn't done that at
thing,
Texas,
I
he
like his
hasn't done that
ball
at
skills. He's
Texas
got
yet.
good
I
ball
don't know if
skills.
he's gonna be able to do it. All right, so my safety 5 is out. He hasn't played in the college football playoffs, and his team shouldn't have, and got beat by a Michigan team. We're going to go with Malachi Moore from the free safety from Alabama. He's an older guy. He is 23 years old. He's 6 foot. Yeah, he's another team captain. I love some team captains. He plays center of the field very well. Good speed. Can play in the box if you need to. He's actually has a great peanut punch. Forces a lot of fumbles. He's another really solid tackler. I liked his tackling. I mean, Malachi Moore, I almost made him my safety 4. Again, it's just so hard because what are you looking for? Are you needing a free safety or are you needing a strong safety? So like how Nick and Malachi Starks are 1A, 1B, I would really say Winston and Moore are 4A, 4B because Winston's a strong and Moore is a free. But Moore does everything really well. He's on almost the same level as Malachi when it comes to being a free safety. I really like they're very similar.
I think that Malachi Moore is strictly a box safety.
But yeah,
strictly a box safety. He can't do anything more than that in the NFL and can get burned. And anytime they try to do that at Alabama, he got burned a lot. But this guy can play the ball, he can tackle, he can wrap up, he can force fumbles. He's a playmaker, but he's a box safety.
I mean, I disagree in a little bit.
I want him to play the run and stop the run. That's the number one thing.
He murdered Tennessee multiple times playing deep, so I believe he can do it.
Well,
so
I don't think Tennessee really had anything like a shooter.
Don't talk about Brew McCoy like that. All right, there, Tyler. Who's your safety 5?
That's Kevin Winston Jr.
Okay.
For a lot of
not too far off him.
For all the reasons basically that you said. I mean, I actually think that he's a guy that could play legit safety, or he could be in the box. Now, the only downside that I would say about the coverage part is he can be very handsy, which could get him in trouble in the NFL. But I do think that he has some potential to do both if he can clean that part of the game up.
No, yeah, I like that. I think, like I said, he can recover. He has the speed to recover. He got beat on like those wheel routes by running backs or tight ends. He was able to make the right angle and speed to break up the pass before they could make the catch. So he has the speed and the awareness and coverage to do what needs to be done. So I can definitely see him working on that and becoming a lot more prominent in a pass offense or pass defense that, pass options. All right, we're moving on to safety 6. This gentleman is another strong safety. He is also playing tonight. He is Latham Ransom from Ohio State, 22 years old, 6'1", 209. Now, let me talk about Latham here. I love Latham. I love everything about his tape. Latham was one of probably the best blitzing safety I watched today. This man made multiple sacks or multiple pressures and was able to time the blitz perfectly to get right past those linemen to make a play on the quarterback. Instinctive, plays really well in the box, had multiple block punts, so he's really good on special teams, which is I love. If you can do 2 things, it's always better. He shoots out of the cannon. Once he makes a decision and goes, he's there in an instant, which I loved. I loved him. I loved his tape. I sat there and just like, yep, Latham all day. Give him to me. I love Latham. Yes, all day.
Man, I think we have a lead for the last, what, how many?
5.
3 picks? 4 picks? 3
Oh,
picks?
yeah, 3 picks.
Yeah. Looking to pick a turn here. And I'm picking another guy. I mean, his team didn't even come close to playing in the playoff. But honestly, his team was absolute dog crap. But I'm picking Billy Bowman.
So,
And
breaking news: Billy Bowman's not in my top 10.
wow.
Yeah,
Man.
I had him in my top 10, but I started watching some other guys, and Billy was just the guy that kept falling. His hips scare me.
Yeah. So, like, that's the problem, but here's the thing. This guy can play the ball. Every time I'm looking at the tape, there he is. He's always naturally in tune to where the ball is.
He's another small guy, though, too. He's only 5'10", 192.
Yeah, like, I thought about picking him off, but I didn't thought, Matumba falling off my board almost, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's my number 11.
I love him. I don't know what you do with him, but honestly, he's getting taken in round 5 right now, 6 right now, maybe.
To say that, Billy Bowman's my 11. He just got cut. I like him. But all these other guys,
I just love the tape. I love it.
Bowman's height, weight, tackling, and stiffness scares me enough to push him down. Is the only reason. But everything you said, I agree with. He's there. He makes plays. Great center fielder.
I want to play Nathan.
I understand. I have no problem with it. He just didn't make it the cut for me. All right, there, Tyler.
All right, Tyler.
All right. Well, we're all going somewhere different on this one too. This guy for me is going to be Kamari Ramsey.
You want that to school?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So who's safety 8? He got moved up.
Number 7, you mean? Yeah, that will be. Oh, well, we're the same after all. That's Billy Bowman. I got a real problem now. I don't know who I'll put at 10 because I didn't even go past 10.
Yeah, that's why I was so like Matt and I were texting, like, how many times are you watching? I'm like, I'm watching 15.
I didn't even know that he went back. I just
found that out last night.
Wow.
All right. So
yeah, otherwise I would have been right there.
Yeah, the other one that we don't know that could potentially be a top 10 is Rod Moore. So if you have Rod Moore,
yeah, he's not on my list because of that.
Yeah. He hasn't declared it, but he hasn't said he's going back to school yet. So he's
so you're watching and you're like, why is Rod Moore not going? What are they blind? They not watch Michigan football? Reportedly he's going back to school.
Yeah, reportedly right now the rumors is he's leaning more to going to school, back to school. So I left him off for those reasons. But my safety 7 was a gentleman that Chris talked to me today about a little bit, and I had to put him on my list specifically to go watch him. So I appreciate Chris to make sure. I was going to watch him, but I moved him up once Chris told me to. This is Jonas Sanker from Virginia, free safety. He's 6'1", 210. Here's his 2023 stats: 98 tackles, 1 interception, 4 pass deflections. He forced a fumble. He has a sack. He's special team playmaker. Put this man on special teams, and he's a playmaker on your special teams. Block field goals, tackles, force fumbles. This man does it all. He is a playmaker on your special teams.
Yeah.
But he is also very good on defense. He reads the quarterback's eyes very well. Very good in the run, even though as he's a free safety. He's a very solid tackler. I argued and said he might be the best tackler out of the safety class. I thought he was that good. He's a hard hitter. He makes open field tackles. He didn't miss many open field tackles, which is also another plus. And I feel like he can play both in the box and free safety wherever you need him. I think he has some of the most upside because he can do a little bit of everything.
Man, it was so much player.
So yeah.
That's what I was ranting about. And literally said the same thing.
You told me, so I had to go watch. And I was like, at first I was like,
that's like player 7. Like, he almost might be my guy.
yeah.
He almost might be I haven't decided he's my guy, but.
Well, remember, when we do my guys, we don't get to, if I take a my guy, you don't get to have him.
Yeah, no. So I meant to talk about this, about this earlier. Like, bro, you never had a good list of my guys.
It's gonna. All right, there, Tyler. Who's your safety 7?
Safety 7 is going to be Lathan Ransom.
Okay, you got Latham. I love Latham. I really do. I gotta go.
Was that your 58?
Yeah, it was. All my stuff's out of order now.
It's all you're just moving guys up. You just gotta go find yourself a safety 10. All right. I came in hot with my last 2, and I'm keeping the heater right down the middle, 100 miles an hour. I got another heater right here for my safety 8. This gentleman is Samari Simmons, the strong safety out of Arizona State. 6 foot 195. This man is a thumper.
195, right?
Yeah, this man is a thumper. Great tackler, forced his fumble in the end zone. Then he recovered that tackle and for a safety. It was a beautiful play.
Oh, sorry. I found him.
Effort. This man is an energizer bunny that doesn't quit. He gives you everything, every game. I love watching him. He play recognition, playmaker, forces fumbles. He's solid in the pass. Great run stopper. Effort. This man gives you all the effort. I did not watch any other safety that gives you the effort and the energy from a single player on the field more than I did with Samari Simmons. Love Simmons.
Oh, I can't believe you just stole my player again.
Shut the. This is my guy.
No. This is my guy. This is my dog.
I'm seeing collusion here.
This is my dog right now. Like, well. The thing is that both Matt and I talked to his brother, and he put us on to the other guys, and we both watched the guys, and we both were like, "Oh, hey, well, this is the dog here."
Yeah,
And let me tell you, he's a dog. But there's a couple plays. I'm gonna turn some negative. There's a couple plays where I felt like, and he's hanging that back a bit. He's hanging back a bit. When he could have made a tackle and he stayed back a bit. But that's rare. By the way, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's a lot harder now than it used to be to find tape on these guys.
Yeah, it is. We're gonna have to pay and probably get the all 22 tape.
Yeah, like how do you pay for that?
I'll have to figure it out. I know there's a way. We'll have to.
There's a way. If there's a way, we should pay for it, and like every year.
100%.
I'm sure we can write it off, right?
Yeah. We make this a business. Yeah.
Make it a small business.
Tyler, who's your 8? You're muted. Can't hear you. Muted.
Oh, my bad. This is Malachi Moore.
Malachi Moore. Okay. Oh
Wow.
You're really low on Malachi.
Yeah.
Why are you so low? Why are you so low on Malachi?
Yeah, why are you so low on Malachi?
I don't think he has elite speed, which I think hurts a little. Hold on, let me look at my notes. Give me 1 second.
No, you're fine.
Man, I'm not that super low on Ransom.
And I don't love the size either. I don't love his size.
Yeah, the size ain't that good. It's probably a below average size.
So I just realized me and Chris are in agree. I God damn it, Chris! If we agree again right here, there's collusion. I have to agree with Tyler.
There's some collusion.
So my safety 9 is Tyler's safety 4. Andrew Mbunko, who's playing tonight from Texas. He's a free safety. He's 22 years old. He's 6 foot 190. He's tall, but he's missing some muscle. He has really good reaction, sees the field really well, reads the quarterback, fluid movements, which is nice, makes open field tackles, plays the center field, plays super soft coverage. I don't know if that's him or the defense, but he is probably he plays some scary soft defense coverage. And he misses a lot of tackles because he's another guy that's small and he goes high and he gets a lot of broken tackles and missed tackles because of it. So,
Tyler's still trying to gather his notes about Arnold.
So he said,
No, actually, I was trying to figure out how to pronounce the next guy on my list name.
Oh,
all right, then.
okay, I'm going to pick my guy here. Hold on here. And I'm picking R.J. Mittens. This is my guy. This guy is a ball hawk at Clemson. And I accidentally made the mistake of watching his high school tape. And I was like, man, this is not North Texas at all. It looks like North Texas.
RJ Mickens. I was talking to Mike about Mickens. Mickens has been one of those guys who have been on the docket for years. He's played for Marshall. He's played for Clemson.
Yeah, well, he solidified that Clemson secondary.
Yeah, Mickens. But
yeah, dude, one of these guys is not gonna make the cut.
All right, there, Tyler. Who's your safety 9?
Okay, so safety 9 is Xavier Nwankpa.
You got me. I didn't watch him. So you
Okay.
threw it.
Okay, so he is from Iowa.
We don't have him.
Hold on. He is 6'2", 215. Great athlete. Good instinct. Good ball skills. And fun fact about him, he has never missed a game at Iowa.
Xavier who?
Nwankpa. Nwankpa.
He has not declared yet either.
Okay, so I might be wrong if he is, but that's my guys right there. So put him down. We don't know. We don't know yet.
He might not be on the list though. That's the problem. I don't
So he's
know.
not on my list if we thought he might go at the school.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a typo. I don't think we can type in random.
I'll have what's her name?
We'll add those guys. But yeah, he has not declared yet. He has 5 days, but since he hasn't declared yet this late, I would assume he's probably going back as well.
Yeah, no, I was about to scout him, and then if he's going back to school.
So all right, here's my guy for number 10. And I'm going with R.J. Mickens from Clemson. Me and Chris are there together with R.J. Clemson's the free safety from Clemson. He's 23 years old, so he is one of the older safeties. A little bit of a knock because he is a little older. He's 6 foot 209. Good recognition, great hands, plays well, really well in the zone. Another good tackler, reads the quarterback. He's very quick off the edge if you want him to blitz or play that box safety for the run. He's very good off the edge, good speed. He's also I thought a lot of these safeties played really well in the run. A lot of them were very good safeties to help support the run. And he's also very good in coverage. I really liked RJ Mickens. He knocked Billy Bowman out. He's the reason Billy Bowman's not in my top 10.
Yeah, someone's not going to make my top 10, but it's in your top 10.
You're not going to have Latham?
I don't know yet. I'm in a quandary. I think it's
your time for safety 10, sir. It's your time for safety 10.
Man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Latham, honestly though. Like we were talking about value, what we value here, and you're talking about guys that get blocks on special teams. He can play the run well. He can force fumbles. Like everything was wrong in somebody that you drafted them in like the 6th round.
No, I get it. Like I said, I have no problem with it. I watch. I'm going to talk about the other guys I watched really quickly and say why, because I know some of the people are going to be higher on them. So here's a nice little stat I'm going to say before we get to Tyler. Give Tyler.
Oh yeah.
So Mike sent me this. So shout out to my brother earlier today. So 257 players were drafted last year in the 2023 NFL draft. 110 of those players came from the Senior Bowl. That's 43% of the draft came from the Senior Bowl. 57 of those 257 players were drafted from the Shrine Bowl last year. So that's 167 out of 257 players that went to either the Shrine or Senior Bowl that was drafted. That is 64% of the draft were from those two off-season bowls for the draft.
From those bowl games. I'm not bowl games.
So 64% come from. So I focused a lot of my research and tape on those guys going to those games because they're.
Yeah. I gotta give a shout out to you, brother. He's really giving me the biggest cheat sheet you could ever ask for. Yeah. And I've been like, hey, and do this for me, and do that for me. And like, yes, and still does it. Yeah. And thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
Tyler, who's your safety 10?
I'm going to go with Aubrey Burks. Oh, please don't tell me he's another guy that might not hasn't declared or won't.
Audrey who?
Audrey what?
Burks.
Oh, I got Audrey.
Is it B-U?
Is it what?
How do you spell Burks?
Banks.
Burks, B-U-R-K-S, from West Virginia.
My brother doesn't even have him on his list.
I got Banks. I got Audrey Banks from West Virginia.
Yeah. Is it Audrey Banks?
No, his name's Aubrey Burks.
Let me double check. By the way, I didn't. That's not my doing.
Unless he went back to school.
My brother has him as Audrey Banks as well from West Virginia.
Oh, somebody's wrong. But I've seen his name multiple times as Burks. But either way, that's the guy I'm talking about, I believe.
It's Audrey Burks. You are correct. I don't know why everybody has it as Banks.
Yeah, I don't know why it's Banks.
Well, no.
Yeah, I won't fix that.
It is Burks. Yeah, we'll update that.
Yeah, it is Burks.
Well, no wonder why you guys didn't know who he was.
Yeah. But he's not invited to any bowl. That's why I didn't. Like my brother has him as safety 34.
Has what?
But I mean, that doesn't mean that he's not going to get drafted.
It doesn't. But my brother has him on his like his level of tiers. He has him down at the 30s in the safeties.
30s?
Yeah. He doesn't think he's draftable. He has him as a UDFA.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He's not draftable.
Hey, we'll see though. You never know.
Hey, well, in my defense, because Chris knows I'm right about this. Do you guys remember about 2 or 3 years ago when I brought up that corner from Rutgers, Max Melton? No one knew who he was, not even your brother. Remember?
I know we knew who he was because of his brother, who was a Packer. Melton.
Yeah, but you guys didn't know who Max Melton was, and then here we go. A year or two later, he goes, I think, like the 3rd round. I'm like, there you go, everybody. I'm vindicated.
He went round 2.
Okay, there you go. Vindicated.
Yeah. So here's the other guys I did really quickly. So I did do Billy Bowman. I already said my things about Billy. I like Billy. He is my safety 11. But then I also have Malik Burden from Iowa State as my safety 12. He was the one flirting with that safety 10 spot for a while until I watched Simmons, Sanker, and Mickens, and then that kind of just put Burden down. But Burden's a free safety from Iowa State. He's 6'4", 220. This dude is a monster of a man. Then I also had the Wisconsin safety, who I'm not high on, Hunter Warler. Dude's a linebacker.
My dog.
I probably will put him, depending on this linebacker
He
class.
hits pretty hard for a white guy.
He does, but Hunter is probably going to be a linebacker, and depending on, he might make my
he's going to move the linebacker.
And then
he looked like a lot.
well, the guy that we talked about earlier, the only reason I'm giving you my name, this guy is the guy that we're talking about who was just standing there not doing anything, is Maxon Hook from Toledo. That's the guy I watched. It just frustrated the hell out of me because he just stood there. He was slow. He's a white guy. He played like a white guy. To be honest with you, slow, not getting anywhere. He had stiff hips, not very slow recognition to anything.
Yeah, Wilmer don't do that though. Wilmer, he'll move around. He plays special teams, but he didn't miss a snap. I like consistency.
Yeah, I wasn't high on Max and Hook, but those are my.
I got I'm gonna mention. You mentioned talked about that. Jordan Clark. The safety from Notre Dame. We all know his dad, Ryan Clark. Hey, Tyler, you know Ryan Clark, right?
You should. You're going to play against him long enough in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, Ryan Clark. Yeah, I know that. No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Jordan Clark, though.
I didn't know that Jordan Clark was the son of Ryan Clark. That is news to me.
Instantly hate him then.
Until he's drafted as a Bengal.
So at ASU, he was originally at ASU when he played for Notre Dame. He got a Pitt 6, and that was the first time any of that family got in the Pitt 6 at any point in their career.
All right.
That's all I got.
Yeah. The other guy who is interesting, very hard to watch anything, only like very snippets, was Dante Trader Jr. from Maryland. He's 5'11", 203, but he's also a lacrosse player. He plays like it when you see him. He has his lacrosse experience makes him a little different, a little bit more shifty, a little bit more twitchy. So Dante Trader he was the hardest to find tape, so I had him at my last spot because I didn't get enough to give him a right justice grade. But he's another guy to look out for. And he's another one that I got to invite to – hold on. Dante Trader is going to the Senior Bowl. So.
Did you guys watch Sebastian Castro?
So yes, all right. I did watch him. He was my 16th safety I watched.
I was just gonna say I'm not that impressed with him, and I think he's way too slow. Too slow. He's a slot corner, nickel, all day, every day. He's gonna be on my cornerback list most likely. He was not like.
I wasn't too impressed with him. Oh, it looks like Ohio State got the ball, by the way.
I talked to Chris about him. So he's 5'11", 205. He's from Iowa. He's 24. He's another older guy. But Castro, what I told Chris and what I wrote down as a note, he plays like a lion. He is going to be like most Iowa guys, like Chris said, but he is a lion. He's like that's going to be a Dan Campbell reach of a pick in a random round, like the third round for Castro, and he's going to throw him in that nickel spot, and he's going to feast for him.
Yeah, he couldn't have some success.
I agreed. Speed was an issue. He looks stiff, but he's a strong tackler. He's another one with a good peanut punch. He knocks some forced fumbles out. I don't want to say too much because he'll probably be on my defensive backs, but yeah, I had him as a corner, not a safety.
Yeah, but no corners next week. Don't get it all away.
He might not make my top 10. I don't know what this cornerback's class like. He might not make my top 10.
I don't know. I'm going to have to look.
Yeah. But that is our top 10 with a little bit of extra spice thrown in there with some other players and safeties that are past that as some honorable mentions. Next week is our top 10 corners. And then next week, like I said, this is the only week we won't have all declarations because in 5 days, Wednesday, January 15th, it is the hard deadline for players to commit to the NFL draft. So we should know by then. But the only caveat to the 15th, Notre Dame and whoever wins tonight, those players get a little bit longer because they play after the fact of the cutoff deadline. They get until next week, the following week after the championship, a couple days after this.
So the exception.
Yeah, they're the only teams that get an exception. Yeah. So just so everybody knows that, but we'll know 99% of the players next Wednesday who are declared, so we won't have the
like a lot of the guys from Iowa, not Iowa, Ohio State are like offensive guys.
Yeah. So, but thank you for tuning in this week. Chris is out; he's watching the game, so we'll all go.
I'm sorry. I'm watching the game. I don't even have a music player. We're supposed to get out of here and without the music.
Yeah. But we appreciate Tyler coming on. Tyler will be a rotating guest in and out with this upcoming top 10. So we appreciate Tyler coming on, and we'll see y'all next week. Hopefully that gave Chris enough time, but probably not. He's just going to kill it.
Thank you for listening to the Mocking You podcast. Yours truly, Lil B at Brunelli Sports and the Hater at Supercharged 30.